Hello and welcome to Wudang Tai Chi Basics. I'm Jay and let's start with a little warm-up. Just stay on your toes, on the balls of your feet, and if you're not comfortable with this type of movement, then you can just do some stepping. Just want to get some blood flowing, increase our circulation. Just get ready for some movement. And generally speaking, we're just breathing through our nose, quietly, in and out through the nose. Okay, we're just going to do some high knees. So one method, let's start with the easy way, is just standing and just doing some knee lifts. Otherwise, running and doing some hopping knee lifts, ready and go. So you're just doing a little hop with the knee lift. Okay, and running. And again, either just the knee lifts, keep going, and or the hopping knee lifts, go. Okay. And just stand with your feet shoulder wide apart, and your feet should be parallel, toes pointing forward, and you can just slightly sink in your knees rather than having your knees locked. Just relax your legs, relax your knees, sink a little bit, and let's just start with some hip rotations. Just gently rotate the hips. In circles, back, forwards, to the sides, and change directions. Good. And we'll work on some waist mobility. Sink down. Definitely just stay a little bit low for this one, and just keep your hips locked. You don't want to be turning your hips, and you don't want your leg to collapse to the inside. You want to keep your lower body structure firm, including your hips, and then just relax your shoulders. And this is good for stretching out the back. Try to hold your hips in place and your legs in place. Just let your arms gently swing, kind of slap against the front and back of your body. Good. And we can just do some circles, opening the shoulders. Good, and forwards. You can alternate which hand is on top, the right and then the left. Okay, and then back again, just like this. Okay, nice circles. Going back, forwards, up, back, down. Good. And let's just do some neck rotations. Just lightly, softly, slowly. And change directions. Okay, good. And if you're comfortable doing this, just watch for a second. If you're comfortable, go for it. If not, just hang on for a second. Just going down, just on the balls of your feet. The heels are up. So this is always a good exercise just to get some flexibility in your knees and then get the compression back in your knees. And then just use your fingers, push off. And just stand on one leg and just shake out. It's kind of like a dog shaking or a cat shaking water off its body. Change sides. Good, and then just watch for a second. This is a good exercise also for the hips, the hip flexors. Just watch for a second, then we'll do it together. Just some circles. You can do circle, take a 1, 2, 3 step, 1, 2, 3 step, 1, 2, 3 step. All right, let's do this together. You can start with your left leg. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Keep going. Just step softly. Not too fast or hard, just nice soft circles. Okay, and again, shoulder wide stance. It's always good to come back to this hip rotation. Okay, change. Okay, good. Now, as this is a basics introduction to Tai Chi, then we'll start with the basic stances. So the first basic stance we're going to work on is called Mabu. Wide stance, horse stance for Ma meaning horse, Bu stance, the horse riding stance. So I'll just show you, just watch, and then I'll show you what the stance looks like and then explain the basics on how to do this. So it's going to look like this, Mabu. So when you're in this stance, your feet should be pointing 45 degrees towards the ankles. And so when we're doing the Tai Chi practice, the directions as far as understanding the orientation of how the form is working, directly in front of you is north, behind is south, and to your left is west, and to your to your right is east. So these are the directions. So when we're doing Mabu and your feet are pointing to the diagonals, north, northwest, northeast. So, okay, here we go. In order to open into this stance, start with your feet together, and we're going to sink in both legs, bend the knees, then shift the weight to your right foot, lift your left heel. So engage the right leg, and heel first, then the toe. Shift your weight, and then open your right foot 45 degrees. So it should be about, you can make some adjustments, it should be about double your shoulder wide stance, not too wide. If you go too wide, then what happens is you won't be able to sink. You want to be able to sink. Keep your back straight. Tuck your tailbone in, meaning your lower spine, don't let your butt stick out, but push your tailbone forward, and then you'll feel your lower spine straightening. Mabu. And come back up slowly and carefully. Come back. And sometimes it's nice, you can just do a little stepping or jogging afterwards, some knee lifts. Take the strain out of your hips, out of your hip flexors, out of your quads. So again, Mabu. Feet together. And sinking both knees. Lift the left heel, engage the right leg, spine straight, back straight, chin up, and heel first, then the toe, then open the right foot, 45 degrees on the angles, northeast, northwest. And make sure it's not too wide open. If it's too wide open, well, if it's really too wide open, you can't sink. Let's just say this is incorrect. If it's too small, you also can't sink. It's not the Mabu. So, depending on your height, and then generally speaking, you have your shoulder wide stance. If you double that, meaning this distance from your heel to your heel should be about double of the shoulder wide stance. And just sink down. Keep your back straight. Tuck your tailbones, pelvic tilt, keeping your lower spine straight. Chin up and breathe. Mabu. Good. The next stance, basic stance, Gombu. It's a side stance. And you can just watch for a minute, I'll just explain. It starts in the same way as Mabu. So from a Mabu, you're going to keep, let's say if we're going to start turning to the left side, you're going to keep your left leg structure static. The same leg structure as the Mabu. Then your right foot, you're going to pivot just on the ball of your foot, and then you'll see that your feet are pointing the same direction. Your feet are on the same angle, and then you want to turn and have your torso, your chest facing west in this case. Gombu. You want to push your back heel towards the ground, making sure that your back leg is straight as can be, and then you want to have the majority of your weight on your front leg, and then just be able to sink into this posture. And come back. And we can just shake this side out. And again, feet together. And sinking, heel up, step out, heel, then toe, shift the weight, open the right side, and now we're going to turn to the right, meaning pivot on the ball of your left foot, turn, shoulders square facing east. This is Gombu. Again, the back heel pushing down towards the ground, keeping that leg straight, and the majority of your weight should be forward. Just make sure that your that your knee isn't going forward too much, that your knee doesn't push out forward of your ankle. Meaning that if you think that's happening, you can open your stance even more and try to keep your shins relatively vertical, your knee above your ankle. And come back up. This is Gombu, Mabu, and Gombu. So let's say these are two fundamental stances in not only Wudang Tai Chi, but you'll see this also in the Beijing style Yang Tai Chi. Another basic stance is called Dingbu, which is about a nail, like a hammer and a nail driving down. And I'll show you the side view. So the Dingbu, this is my left foot, my right foot. So if I'm doing Dingbu with my right foot, then I want my right toe pointing down, that's the nail. And you want it positioned basically halfway between the toe and heel of your left foot. Keep the majority of your weight on your left foot. That when you're doing this Dingbu posture, let's say, generally speaking, that you're weightless on your right toe, or whichever toe is in the stance, you're weightless, and try to be able to sink back straight. Again, this pelvic tilt. Keep your tailbone tucked in, not sticking out. Lower spine nice and straight. Dingbu. And on the other side, with the left toe, Dingbu. Just sink as low as you can. Engage that right leg so that this left toe should be weightless and just resting halfway between the toe and heel of your right foot. Chin up, lower back straight. You can keep your elbows forward, shoulders forward, back round. So this is Dingbu. Now, we're going to work on some transition. Mabu, Gombu, and Dingbu. We'll start with our feet together. Ready. Stepping into Mabu. Go. Sinking. Weight on the right foot. Engage the right leg. Lift the left heel. control, step out, heel first, toe, shift the weight, open the right foot, Mabu. Angles 45 degrees, northeast, northwest. And we can just hold our hands in front, sink, Mabu. Pelvic tilt, tuck the tailbone in, lower spine straight, chin up, and we're going to turn on the ball of the right foot. We'll just turn into a Gombu. And turn the waist, body is facing west. And again, back into the Mabu. Keep the weight on the left foot, pivot, shift, Mabu. Pivot, shift the weight to the right, Gombu. Turn the waist, torso square to the direction of east. Again, pivot on the ball, shift the weight. Now it's symmetrical, 50-50, shifting the weight. Pivot the back foot. The forward foot stays in that same Mabu structure. One more time, keep the weight on the left. Pivot, then shift the weight. Mabu. And shift the weight. Pivot. Gombu. Come back to Mabu and step in and just do a nice closing circle. And feet together. And we'll do this one more time and we'll incorporate the Dingbu. Ready, go. Sink, heel up. Step out, heel, then toe. Open the right foot, Mabu. Pivot, Gombu. Shift your weight to the right foot. Or sorry, this will be your left foot. Shift your weight, engage, lift the right heel, and then just softly, weightlessly bring that foot into a Dingbu. You can face the diagonal. And go back, heel first, Mabu, Gombu. Shift the weight, engage this side, lift that back heel, and just on the toe, weightlessly bring it over silently. Dingbu. The toe halfway between your grounded heel and toe. Stay as low as you want, and go. Heel, toe. Mabu, symmetry. Shifting the weight, pivoting, Gombu. Shift the weight, engage that leg, heel up, softly, weightlessly bring that toe into position. Again. Mabu. Gombu, shift the weight, controlled, Dingbu. Mabu, and good. You can just shoulder wide stance, closing circle. Okay, this is the nice transition, basic stepping from Mabu to Dingbu. and the intermediary is that Gombu. So I'll just show you, I'll just demonstrate one more time briefly that for shifting from a Mabu to a Dingbu, the transition is the Gombu. Engage that forward leg and then bring this toe weightlessly and silently, softly into the Dingbu position. Good. Thank you very much, and that would be all for this introductory basics class.